Greetings all. This is a brief message to say thank you and to highlight the message that Zethu did and said through a video which was released via her TikTok page, Twitter, and I think Instagram. Zethu, I don't know you personally, but I thank you for the message and I stand by everything that you said. And thank you for also highlighting the amazing work that Women for Change are doing. I've put a link to the video so you know what I'm talking about, but it's around the horrific and traumatic rape that happened to a group of individuals in Krugersdorp, South Africa. The crime has made world headlines, and as Zethu has stated, our police commissioner has really not done much besides grandstand. And this message is to highlight the amazing work that Women for Change are doing and still do and have been doing, particularly around this case. And if you want to support and donate to the well-being, the mental well-being care for these victims and survivors, there is a link that you can tap into and obviously give whatever donation you want to. I've put it onto this video as well. But also, I also want to call out the Department of Information and Publicity, who did a whole PR campaign and released a press statement on the 21st of August. And I'm going to just read a bit of the statement, and it's ANC structures to visit 8 girls who were raped in Krugersdorp, announcing that they were going to be visiting these victims and survivors who, as the statement says, had been moved to a place of safety due to security concerns after their home addresses were made public. So who made them public? Because, that's also a bit worrying. But the fact that you then put the address of where they were staying compromised their safety even more. So I don't understand, and many of us don't understand, the need for such a visit. But what's even more worrying is up to recently, and if it wasn't for the intervention from Women for Change South Africa, they hadn't received any counselling or any other support. So what was the need for such a PR? I suppose that's I'm answering my own question. It was just a PR exercise. And it's incredibly worrying because we live in a country where we're known as the rape capital of the world. In 2018, our president admitted that we were in a crisis when it comes to gender-based violence. He accepted the 24 demands which were set out by the Total Shutdown movement, and yet, when it comes to implementing basic human rights needs, our government can't provide that, but are very good when it comes to PR, press releases. And on the note of press releases is that it's very, very important then when reporting on rape cases is to be factual and to not lie. Because if it wasn't for Women for Change, they wouldn't have gotten their counselling. So as we continue in this struggle and this fight, it's very, very important to change the way of how we've been treating victims and survivors in the past. And our government have no excuse because CSO, activists, lawyers put together the 24 demands of what needs to be implemented just to start and the process of combating and ending gender-based violence. And yet a lot of the time it's ridiculed, and so we're tired. For those of you who can, we know we're living in very difficult economic times. But if you can, there is a donation portal towards the victims and survivors. And as I said, it's on this video. And I use the term victims and survivors because it is up to every individual to decide for themselves of who they are and where they are. Because when trauma affects us, it affects everybody differently. And therefore, the healing process is different, and the healing process is not linear. So it's not up to us to decide if somebody is a victim or survivor. It's for them to decide. With that, Thank you again, Zethu, and thank you, Women for Change, and all the other warriors and activists who are constantly working on the ground to create awareness, to work up against a judicial system that does not support us and that does not support the victims and survivors. And we hope that at the top there's going to be some form of a shift in terms of addressing this crisis, because that's exactly what it is. Thank you so much for listening.